Imagine you walk into a room and the woman you've invested time, attention, and emotional energy into simply ignores you. She doesn't meet your eye. She scrolls past you. She treats you like a ghost in the room. That hollow feeling hits different than a slow text or a cancelled plan. It wakes up something primitive. Protect the ego. Fix the problem. Get noticed. Most men do exactly that. They react, they chase, they apologize, they explain. And in so doing, they hand her the power. But here's the crucial truth. Being ignored is rarely about your worth. Most often it's about a dynamic, a test of leverage, a mood, or a boundary she's signaling. The second you respond with panic or pleading, you confirm that her silence can move you. You let someone else dictate your emotional thermostat. That's the fast route to losing respect. This video is about flipping that script. We'll walk through 7 Stoic-informed moves that turn being ignored into your advantage, not by playing petty games, but by building inner authority. These are practical steps: what to do in the moment, how to reframe your story, how to invest your energy, and ultimately how to become the kind of man who is steady whether she notices or not. If you want to keep your dignity, increase respect, and make yourself genuinely more attractive, listen closely. Let's begin. Section 1. When she ignores you, it's a power test. When a woman ignores you, too many men take it personally. They interpret silence as rejection. She doesn't like me. I must be missing something. But more often, it's a power probe. She's checking whether your self-worth depends on her attention. By pulling away, she creates a vacuum to see what you'll do. Stoicism helps us see this clearly. Epictetus taught that it is our judgments, not events, that trouble us. Her silence is an event. The harm arrives when you tell yourself a story that collapses your identity. If your story says, "I need her to validate me," her ignoring will feel catastrophic. If your story says, "My value is internal," her silence becomes merely information. So your first move, don't confuse her action with your identity. Treat being ignored as a signal about dynamics, not as a verdict on your worth. Observe how you want to respond. Awareness makes a difference. Tests become data, not triggers. Section 2. Shift your energy inward. Invest in yourself. The immediate temptation is to chase. More texts, more calls, more explanations. That's the exact behavior the test expects. Once you recognize the ignoring as a test, the most effective move is counterintuitive. Stop pursuing and start building. The Stoic countermove is to reallocate that energy inward. When she ignores you, double down on you. Hit the gym, finish the project you've postponed, call a friend, and actually be present. Read, learn, create. Every hour you spend improving yourself communicates a far louder message than any message you could write. My life is full. I do not hinge my worth on your reply. There's a practical effect too. Redirecting anxiety into action rebuilds your emotional power. You feel better, you look better, you become more interesting. And crucially, you stop broadcasting neediness. Women, and people in general, are drawn to those who live from abundance, not from lack. This isn't stoic coldness, it's strategic abundance. You see the challenging moments of her ignoring you as an invitation to invest in yourself, not an invitation to self-sabotage. So when the urge to chase comes, choose to build instead. Your quiet progress will speak for itself. Section 3. Never beg for attention. Begging for attention is the single most obvious misstep a man can make when he's ignored. Typing, "Why are you ignoring me?" or "Please just tell me what I did," is not honesty. It's pleading. It hands your dignity across the table. The Stoic approach is simple. Don't barter your worth for a text bubble. Marcus Aurelius's quote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy," applies here. If she acts petty, don't stoop to her level. Begging is emotional discounting. You lower your price to be sold. Instead, practice boundary and calm. When you refuse to beg, you preserve dignity. You also reclaim the moral high ground. Think of the difference between two men. One pleads for attention, the other quietly lives well. Which man looks like a choice for long-term partnership? Which man seems steady and safe? The latter. People are drawn to consistency, to those who do not trade their calm for momentary validation. If you need clarity, ask from strength. A short, clear message, not a long, anxious monologue. If she doesn't reply, resist the pull to follow up with tormenting frequency. Preserve your standards. When you refuse to beg, you preserve attraction. You preserve self-respect. Remember, people choose partners who stand firm. Begging signals instability. Standing firm signals maturity. So when the itch to text again hits, stop. Ask yourself, is this coming from strength or fear? If it's fear, let it go. If it's a need to communicate clearly and calmly, great, but never in a posture of pleading. Section 4. Reframe the situation. Most men see being ignored as rejection. They take it personally. She doesn't like me. I must not be enough. That mindset is a trap. Stoicism teaches us to see things differently. What looks like rejection may actually be redirection. When a woman ignores you, it's not necessarily about you. It's about her choices, her state of mind, or even her own games. Instead of spiraling into self-doubt, pause and ask, what is this moment giving me? Because every obstacle carries an opportunity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Her ignorance, instead of being a wall, can become a mirror. It reflects your resilience, your ability to stand firm, and your commitment to self-respect. Reframing means flipping the script. Instead of saying, she rejected me, you say, this is a reminder to focus on those who actually value me. Instead of asking, what's wrong with me, you ask, what can I strengthen within myself? Think of it like training. A heavy weight doesn't reject you when you fail to lift it. It challenges you to grow stronger. In the same way, her ignoring challenges you to stop depending on someone else's validation and start building inner strength. So the next time you're ignored, don't call it rejection. Call it redirection. Let it push you toward the people, the projects, and the passions that bring out your best. That's the Stoic mindset, turning every test into fuel for growth. And when you adopt that frame, you're ready for the next truth. Real power doesn't come from fighting her ignoring, but from mastering your own detachment. Section 5. Destroy her ego with indifference. The phrase destroy her ego sounds brutal, but the method here is deliberate and dignified. Indifference with purpose. The most effective way to neutralize someone's manipulative withdrawal is not to confront them loudly, but to continue thriving quietly. When most men feel ignored, they fight back. They raise their voices, send angry texts, or demand answers. They believe that by pushing harder, they'll regain control. But here's the paradox. The harder you push, the smaller you look. Anger doesn't destroy her ego, it feeds it. It tells her she still has power over you. The Stoic man knows better. You don't fight her silence with noise. You dissolve her power with indifference. The deepest sting doesn't come from arguments or accusations. It comes from realizing her absence made no dent in your life. Imagine she ignores your call, expecting you to chase. But instead of sulking or pleading, you carry on. You hit the gym. You laugh with friends. You keep building your life as if the storm never touched you. That quiet confidence unsettles her more than any words ever could. She begins to wonder, did I really matter to him? Was I ever in control? That doubt doesn't come from cruelty. It comes from strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Indifference is exactly that. You rise above the pettiness and refuse to be dragged into emotional games. You don't punish. You don't perform. You simply continue. And in doing so, you flip the script. She is the one questioning herself, not you. Indifference isn't coldness. It's a demonstration of inner peace. It communicates that your life doesn't hinge on her validation, that realization can shift how she sees you, sometimes pulling her back, often changing the dynamics entirely. This is not manipulation. It's sovereignty. You refuse to be a pawn. You show that your agenda is your growth and that your emotional economy is self-funded. True power lies in living unshaken, not through aggression, not through games, but through the steady signal that your peace cannot be disturbed. Section 6. Silence speaks louder than words. Both her silence and yours are forms of communication. When she ignores you, she is saying something, maybe confusion, frustration, boredom, or a need for space. Your reply, or your chosen quiet, also speaks. A cool, intentional silence says, "I value my peace more than your attention." That phrase may feel harsh in the abstract, but in practice it's a claim to self-respect. Seneca noted that silence is a learned lesson. It's not emptiness, but content. Use silence intentionally. Don't weaponize it to punish. Instead, let it reflect integrity. Make your life the message. Show up to work, training, and friends. Let your behavior answer for you. People pick up on that non-verbal clarity. Curiosity often follows. Why doesn't he react? Why is he steady? That curiosity can open doors that pleading never will. Silence grounded in presence becomes a language of its own, one that communicates worth without desperation. Conclusion: the true power is your inner rule. So what should you actually do when she ignores you? Don't react with panic. Don't beg. Don't try to fix her mood. Instead, recognize the behavior as information. Shift your energy into your life. Refuse to trade dignity for attention. Reframe the moment as redirection. Answer with calm indifference that proves you are unshakable. Let your silence speak your steadiness, and commit to becoming the man who is not defined by another's notice. That's how you turn her ignoring, her coldness into an arena where your inner strength is revealed. That sequence is not a cold strategy, it's a demonstration of self-mastery. The ultimate win is not winning someone back, it is refusing to lose yourself in the first place. If this message landed with you, take a small action today. Pick one area of your life you'll invest in instead of chasing a reply. Start the project, the workout, or the call to a friend. Tell me in the comments what you'll build. Thank you for watching Stoic Wisdom today. If you found value here, like, share, subscribe, and join us on the path where ancient wisdom meets modern relationships. Until next time, stay calm, stay grounded, stay stoic.